was a time he grabbed me by the arm and he started driving the vehicle. And the vehicle was pulling the vehicle was pulling the wheelchair.
I think generally women and children haven't had a fair access to justice.
Women with disabilities tend to feel, are usually sidelined.
I met Jimmy Zimba when I was working for Radio Ichengelo. I was an announcer, producer, presenter of programs, and he was in the technical department. Yeah. So I met him in 1997. Yeah. And we got married in 2001. Yeah. And I just left college. Zambia Institute of Management, and we started staying together. But during our stay, I took long to have a child. Yeah, and that was the first point of problems, because there was a time he told me, no, my parents are like, no, you can't have children because you're disabled. And he started being aggressive from there. I had a baby in 2005. His name is Taunga Zimba. And at that time, I thought, oh, okay, this is what they wanted. So here it is. And I'm going to have my peace. But no, it's like the violence that had started then kind of just escalated. And from there on, it moved to, no, my mother says I cannot be married to a disabled woman. And you know, I've only got one mother. So there's no way I'm going to be with you. And for me, I said, I don't know how we're going to do this, because your mother was even at our wedding. So I don't know how we can reverse the process. And every time, even priests came home, my family came home to intervene and talk to him, they'll just be told, no, I don't want her. There's nothing wrong with her. I just can't be married to a disabled woman. If she had legs, it would be different. But she's in a wheelchair. For me, no, that's not acceptable. I can't have that. My mother wants an able-bodied woman. I experienced a lot of violence. There was a time he pushed me on a flight of stairs in a wheelchair, but thank God the wheelchair went and landed. He grabbed me, was the time he grabbed me by the arm and he started driving the vehicle. And the vehicle was pulling the vehicle was pulling the wheelchair with my arm in the driver's seat. It became so unbearable. I remember vividly, I received a call from, she was a fan on radio, and I was talking to her. The next thing I heard, he grabbed the phone. Who are you talking to? And he threw the phone. He started hitting me. I was bruised. It was a rainy day, and I said, no, I think I can't take this anymore. But I wouldn't do anything, because I looked around, I saw a system that couldn't help me. I went to Kitwe Central Police. And when I reached there, I found this very uncooperative policeman who said, yes, how can I help you? To start with, as I entered, there were problems there by the entrance. Then when I went in, when you're reporting a case at Kitwe Central Police, there is this platform where the police officers stand. It was way above me. And I went in, and then he came, yes, madam, how can I help you? I was crying. I was in so much pain. And then I told him, no, I've been beaten. By who? By my husband. Ah, madam, are you sure you want to do this? These are domestic issues. Go and settle them at home. I said, you know, if I was able to defend myself, I wouldn't be coming to you. then it would be a domestic issue. What do I do to someone who knows I can't run, I can't do anything, and he continues to beat me? Look at the bruises I have. And then he started negotiating with me. No, you don't have to go this way. Do you know that you would be jailed? So I said, but if he knew that what he was doing was wrong and he would have stopped doing what he was doing. So he tried to convince me. Then a lady cop came and said, no, let her report. There was another aspect to the whole proceedings. He got married whilst we were still married. So there was the aspect of bigamy in there. And I think he was trying to intimidate me, not to go and report that case because it's a criminal offense. My son was present when he was beating me. So he understands. He actually tells me, Mommy, I remember that day Daddy was beating you. But Daddy told me you took him to the police. Of course, he's trying to win the boy's, sympathy and to side with him. But there's a point he says, if he ever touches you again, I'm going to personally deal with him. Now, those words coming from a very young person. He's only about 10 years old now. Yeah. And when he says that, I'm reminded that he comes to my aid. He wants to protect me, which he has seen is a gap from a big person to him. And he says, I know Daddy hurts you. It's okay for you to be like this, to be far from him. So it's something he has understood, but of course, he wants to be with me. But then, for us to wait for the wheels of justice to roll and declare certain things and say, no, this is where this person is going to be without having problems. This is what has taken forever.
At the moment, we do have a matter involving Julian Mwapezimba, who happens to be a disabled woman. This matter was initially started by herself in the High Court. It was a divorce case. That matter is, as I speak to you, is currently before the court.
I came for my court case, a divorce case, which started in 2010. And the matter came up for hearing today. And my lawyers asked for an adjournment because of an emergency.
Which adjournment has been granted. So the matter will then come up on the 30th of this month. And I hope that I can attend so that we conclude it. It has been in court for quite some time.
For me, today, it would have been better if we had concluded. I'm looking at myself. I'm a woman with a disability with an education. I'm a woman with a disability who is empowered. If I can experience the kind of barriers that I have experienced, I'm imagining a woman with a disability without an education who is not empowered. What are they going through? So in order for us to have an equal world, I think let us level everything. Let justice be accessible even to the most vulnerable people. Women with disabilities need to have access to justice.
Women with disabilities are usually sidelined.
If persons with disabilities are going to access justice, we need to have courts that can allow for a person with a disability to actually access those courts without problems.
And this is why in this ministry, one of the things we have done is to review our gender policy so that it takes into account the current issues. Furthermore, this ministry has put before Parliament a gender equity and equality bill which is now Act of Parliament. It's been passed. So we need to go back to this act and see what is it that we left behind so that we can start now amending and making additions.
There are so many women with disabilities that are in such marriages where they are being abused, and if we cannot have a system that is able to take care of such gross human rights violations, then there is no hope for a woman with a disability.
And it depends how you look at access issues and also justice issues. I think generally women and children haven't had a fair access to justice, both in the community and also at national level. They are judged harshly and even blamed for things that they haven't done. So if you now narrow it to specifics within this context, I would like to say women, children, women living with disabilities, children living with disabilities, I think they've not had a share or access to justice. I think now we need to go back and say, did we provide enough for the children in that bill? Did we provide enough for the people living with disability in that bill? Did we provide enough for the women? Because the perpetrators usually are men. Although there are women that physically batter their husbands, and there are women that push their husband through psychological violence, the point is the majority are men.
I don't think it's an inclusive and progressive society that we're living in. There shouldn't be these barriers. Attitudinal, environmental, they should be addressed in order for a woman with a disability to say yes, even if somebody did something wrong to me, I have recourse to the law. So in order for something to be accessed by everyone, it has to truly, not just in words, be accessible to everyone. And my appeal is that as we talk, let us walk the talk.
But I think at the time that this was being done, I don't think people were thinking the way you are thinking. They were just thinking, here is a problem affecting all our people, in particular women and children. What do we do about it?